Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to World of Warships with me, Viper 101. Today we are going to be taking out the Farragut, the Tier 6 American destroyer. Now, before we get started, I gotta do the usual of giving you my commander skills and showing the matchmaking. It's not terrible. Tier 7 game, we're mid-tier. Anyway, for my commander, the first skill I took was Preventative Maintenance. You're a destroyer, not a cruiser. People are going to shoot at you if you're detected. Last Stand, you're a destroyer. You don't take Last Stand, you're dead. I took Superintendent, so I got an extra charge of smoke and speed. Unfortunately, I do not have premium consumables mounted, which is a bit of an issue. After that, take Concealment Expert, because this ship, even with a camo, has pretty mediocre concealment, in all honesty. After that, I would take Adrenaline Rush to increase your reload, just such a great skill. And after that, you could take Survivability Expert or save up for IFAG, whichever is worth it. For my modules, I took Main Armaments Mod 1, Damage Control Mod 1, Aiming Systems Mod 1, and Propulsion. This is Trident, I believe, and we have engaged the enemy Sims, Tier 7 American Premium Destroyer. And that kinda hurt. I'm taking a lot of fire, but that's okay, because the Farragut is sort of that first phase where American DDs really start to excel at the skirmishing role. And I think this match is a solid example of skill and luck both sort of combining to produce a great result. We are contesting the B cap. Our team is moving into the A cap, and the enemy is attempting to take C. Overall, I think we have pretty good map positioning, except maybe our Nelson. He's sitting in the back there, and in the back he will remain, oddly enough. But one thing that makes US Destroyers so great, as I'm sure all of you know, are the guns and the smoke. Torpedoes, not so much. But firing from smoke, these destroyers put out a tremendous amount of damage. Incidentally, we got a lucky torpedo, I think on the Jianbei. I am not entirely sure. Doesn't matter, we're lighting up this Congo. And you can start to see sort of the issues that this ship faces with 5-inch guns against battleships and even some cruisers. We're getting a lot of shatters. That's why I would maybe consider taking IFHE, but I don't know the math on how well it would actually do. Unfortunately, the enemy has taken the B cap. My smoke still has about a minute left, so I'm going to try to move in and prevent the enemy from getting any points from this cap. We did set a fire on the Congo, and I think he put it out immediately. Moving into the cap, we prevent them from gaining any points, while we are gaining points from the one cap we have. Now, Farragut is nice in the sense that once you upgrade the torpedoes, you don't have to get suicidally close to use them. Well, who am I kidding? It's still suicidally close, 6.4 kilometers, but it's still better than 5.5, which is what the Nicholas has and what the Farragut has stock. They are honestly, they're good enough for me. And especially with this ship, you're so gun-focused that the torpedoes are kind of, I don't want to say an afterthought, because they do have their uses, but they're not the primary weapon. They're just not the primary weapon. Your 5-inch guns are pretty dang good. I am unfortunately detected, but we just fell off, so never mind. Although I'm gonna get shot at by the Sims again. This Sims was actually a great player, in all honesty. They did everything they were supposed to. Skirmish the caps, try to fight off myself, and any other DDs, secure their caps, do all that stuff. Fortunately for me, their Furutaka gets nuked by our Nagato, and their Sims is leaving the cap. Now at this distance, USN DDs, well, their guns kind of start to suffer. They have slow muzzle velocity, it's something that they're really known for, but they do have their uses at knife fights, and even behind cover. Again, unfortunately leaving the cap, this time beaching myself while detected, and this is not good. There is a Baron coming around the corner with his guns ready to go. I'm not going to be too happy when he comes around. I know he's going to fire at me. It hasn't been the 22nd debuff. And here come his shells. And he gets an underwater penetration on me. That hurt. But it's okay. I'm actually okay with that because of Adrenaline Rush. It'll help my reload even more now. And now I can move into the cap unmolested because I know that the Sims has left. And we've done a fair bit of damage to the Sims. They've done a fair bit of damage to us in return. But that doesn't matter, because there's a Scharnhorst right there, and he's really low. We're going to try to set a fire, although don't count on too much. I'm pretty sure the stock fire chance on this is 6%. Might be wrong, it might be 5, and I've got it up to 6 with flags. But we're doing an important thing in that we're defending the sea cap from being captured while we're capturing. I mean, it's good that we're defending it in the first place, but the fact that we are also defending, well, not defending, but resetting the cap at A means that they get a lot less points than we do. Torpedoes from the Sims, aka sea mines, because they go like 55 knots. US torpedoes are slow. We do secure the cap, the Sims is spotted, but he's just at the edge of my range. Now, my original plan when starting this game was to go A-B, but it looks like now, given our position, we can afford to move and contest C. I don't think I ever actually enter C, but with destroyers, it is... What I've noticed is that oftentimes your presence is enough to dissuade the enemy from considering taking that cap. Nobody wants to scratch their paint or get torped into oblivion. Although if it's a USN DD, you have to be pretty bad to get torped. Now, the enemy team still has a significant amount of ships. We are evenly matched. They've lost 3, we have lost 3. We've lost cruisers, though. They've lost destroyers. And in this game, destroyers, they hold the influence over the match. Destroyers win games. Now, don't get me wrong, battleships and cruisers do as well, but there's no ship that can get as close as they do and deal out as much damage as they do as destroyers. Enemy Scharnhorst lands a really solid HE volley that kind of pissed me off at the time. Incapacitates my torpedo tubes, and the enemy Fiji is shooting at me. That's one thing that I do fear in The Sims, is Royal Navy, or not The Sims, the Farragut, I don't have The Sims, is the Royal Navy AP. It's brutal. It is brutal. And it sucks. But, I mean, light cruisers are designed to, destroy destroyers. Kind of ironic. And I, low-key, had no idea there was another Fiji right in front of me until I bounced one of his shells. That was kind of a nasty shock, but fortunately the Mayhan takes him out, which was great. He was low anyway. And this smokescreen set by the Mayhan is honestly great, for me anyway, because I can engage the Scharnhorst from behind cover without being detected by the Baron. And you can see, with Adrenaline Rush kicking in, it's like a 3.5 second reload or something. It's pretty good, and it only gets better. Well, USN DDs have really good reloads. Enemy Fiji, I think, beached himself, but lost sight of him. Baron's the only one we can fire on, so shift fire. Enemy battleship. And it looks like I can't actually tell if that's an upgraded or a stock Baron. I think it's upgraded. Yeah, no, that's an upgraded Baron. So, and this again will show you. Well, we got a fire. That was lucky. How weak, I guess, this AP or HE is against battleships, because we're getting a lot of shatters. That is a lot of shatters. It's like roughly 50% of our shells. 75% of our shells are shattering, which is okay. They pop damage control on the first fire, so if I do get another one, it'll stick. And I think I actually do manage to get one in here. Yeah, right there. Set one fire. And that's going to burn. Unfortunately, he's still got a fair bit of health. But damage is damage, in my opinion. And those hit on the belt, so they're going to shatter. But 3 times the amount of shells shattered as did penetration. So IFHE might be worth it. I don't know the exact numbers, the increased numbers off the top of my head, but I do know that IFHE increases your the penetration of HE. I, again, don't know the percentages. We're moving to defend the B cap. This is kind of where I have, I guess, made my stand, really. Talk about, well, wouldn't be last stand of the Tin Can Soldiers, because there are no destroyer escorts in the game, which is okay. As Lurt so fondly put it. Anyway, we have our smoke up. There are several targets in range or moving within range. Our Baron is kind of YOLOing at this point, and our Nelson has not moved. I popped my smoke screen while still going pretty quickly in the with the idea that I could set more of a screening smoke screen so that other ships could use it, but then I realized I was pretty much alone, so I just selfishly used it for myself because I am selfish. Other enemy Fiji pops up. We're going to engage him and call him out to our team. Goes behind the island, which is unfortunate, but the enemy Colorado's right there, so might as well shoot him. And the Nagato is pushing into C. Think he's going to eat one of those torpedoes, which will be amazing. Got a fire on the Nagato. Unfortunately, he eats the torp and pops his damage control. Now, I am shooting a little bit behind, but I managed to correct it. And this is where I really do actually appreciate the arcs of the USS, or the USN DDs, and the Cleveland and the Atlanta, even though I don't have an Atlanta yet. Hoping to get one soon. But you can just lob shells over the islands. Makes it difficult to engage fast targets at range, like destroyers, but makes it relatively easy to hit these big, lumbering, clueless battleships. Now, this guy's actually going to survive for a while. He's going to finish off our, I think that's a New York behind me. And we're going to have to finish him. He had something like 40 health remaining. You'll see in a minute. But for the moment, going to hit up this Iron Duke. Try to get him out of the match. Admiral Yamamoto is shooting at him too. So he's not too long for this world. If we kill him. You know, that's a big if with randoms. But he takes a big hit and is about to go down. And there he goes. There's the Nagato I was talking about. We're going to try to sink him here. This is, so before I forget to mention this, this is something that the Farragut seems to do better than the other US DDs. I don't know where their shells went. But it's got 3 guns at the back, which have phenomenal firing angles. And there goes our New York. Fortunately, I got shells out before he dropped off detection, and we take the kill. Enemy Sims is in the smoke. But what I was saying, these back turrets make it extremely good at kiting, I've noticed. Enemy Sims pops up. It's destroyer on destroyer. We both have low health. I have slightly more. And we land a hit. He lands 2, but I think my bow is actually saturated right now. And we land a good hit and end up taking him out with 471 health remaining. That was close. I have to admit, when I was playing this, my heart was pounding. It felt like it was trying to burst out of my chest like a xenomorph baby or something. But it was great. Matches like this are fantastic. Like, if I could have every match like this, it would be so great. It kind of reminds me back in like open beta days where it wasn't these cascades every day, every time. But, you know, snowball effect is real. Just trying. I mean, you gotta share the, I guess, share the good games and sort of ignore the bad ones, whichever side you're on, win or lose. Anyway, don't mean to stand on a soapbox or anything. Just trying to get some extra XP, help my grind towards the Mayhan, which I have unlocked at this point, and I'm loving it. Mayhan with the upgraded torpedoes, I use some free XP because from what it sounds like, the stock grind is awful. And I had the free XP, so why not? But upgraded, it's beastly. The range is a little anemic, but it's a destroyer, so what do you want? We got the cap and the win. In the end, I think I did something like 72,000 damage, 72.5 thousand damage, that's good for a destroyer. Top of the team by about 120 XP. Our Nagato did a good job, as did our Fiji. It was a good team all around, in all honesty. And their Sims, I gotta hand it to them. Did everything right, just got outplayed by our team as a whole, not just any one person. Good teams are a rare thing. Well, no, they're not. Not if you div up. Moving on to the detailed report, you can see potential damage was not terribly high, but I guess for Tier 7, 542,000 is pretty good. And 28,000 spotting damage, it's alright. The Farragut isn't really the most stealthy of ships, so, spotting things outside of battleships and some cruisers is difficult. But yeah, that was my USS Farragut commentary. I also want to point out that I messed up on my commander when I was making this thing, so what I have said my recommended build is not actually what I have. My commander doesn't have Concealment Expert because I took Adrenaline Rush first. So I have 2 more commander skills that I have to grind out, which is a stupid mistake, but I unlocked the Farragut before I took a brief hiatus from the game about a year ago, I think. Or was this? Anyway, the point is, I didn't know USDDs when I first unlocked this. And now I do. Well, I don't know them, but I have a good idea of what to do with them. Anyway, that was my USS Farragut commentary. I hope you enjoyed it. And before I go, I want to say this. US destroyers are fantastic at cap contention. Go straight to the cap. Drop your torpedoes, engage enemy destroyers, and profit. Anyway, with that last anecdote, I will sign off, and I will see you in the next one. Peace, peace.